Hello everyone, it is I, Trini Jackson. Welcome back to my channel. I'm extremely excited about the video I have for each and every single one of you today. As you saw from the title, we are getting into a discussion about women's bodies, periods, menstrual cycles, all that. And my goal for this video is to convince as many women as possible to make the permanent change from pads and tampons to menstrual cups. This is a switch I made myself 3 years ago. I've had many conversations with all my friends and the ladies in my life, convincing them to leave the pads and tampons alone forever. After having so many individual discussions, I decided it was time to influence and impact women on a grand scale by sharing this message, literally making my argument. And if at the end of this video you still would never consider wearing a menstrual cup for any reason, I honestly want you to comment below and let me know what that is. So my main goal, my main objective is to encourage and influence as many women as possible to make the switch to menstrual cups, period. It is a topic that I am so passionate about that making this presentation just made the most sense so that we could put all information in one place and I can give you every single possible reason that you might make this switch. And my secondary goal is to have an open and casual conversation about periods and menstrual cycles, because half the world menstruates, and for the half that doesn't, they know someone who does. So treating periods as if it's like a taboo conversation or something that can't be discussed regularly, it just makes no sense to me. And I feel like that limits access to information, education that can help other women have a more pain-free, comfortable, happy, healthy period. So that's my underlying goal with this video, so that we can be like, bro, let's just talk about our menstrual cycle for a second. I aim to be effective and efficient without being eternal. And if you are someone that switched to menstrual cups for any reason, please let me know your experience, what it's like for you, why you think that other women should or shouldn't, I don't want to put words in your mouth, make the switch as well. Side note, my lip filler is still healing, so let's just ignore the subtle bruising on my upper and bottom lips. I do not want to get into that. I literally could not wait to share this information with you, so don't let the speaker get in the way of what's being spoken. Let's focus on the topic at hand, all right? Okay, so this is Periods Reimagined, Why Menstrual Cups Are the Best Choice by yours truly, Trini Jackson. Now, the first reason I'm gonna give you all on why you should switch to menstrual cups is the environmental implications. Now, you may not be Little Miss Reduce Reuse Recycle, but unfortunately I am. So I had to make this the first topic because it is probably the most important on a grand scale on how this can impact not just you in your life and maybe the people you love, but lots of people around the world. I think that we all play a part when it comes to the environment. Sue me. Pads and tampons are polluting our planet. I just realized I forgot to put a picture on this slide, but just imagine a landfill right here full of tampons, pads, and other little disposable one-time use products. All right, let's use our vision. But billions of pads and tampons are thrown away every single year. And the thing about a pad and a tampon these days, you don't just buy a tampon with cotton and string in the applicator. You have the wrapping. Whenever you consider all the wrapping and packaging that goes into tampons and pads, there is so much waste associated from the individual wrapping of the product itself, the actual applicator, then you have the actual tampon. All of that disposable, and you're going to be using multiple in a month basis or for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life. It's not going to decompose for hundreds of years. It is going to be filling up landfills and, unfortunately, our oceans, our beautiful oceans with our coral reefs and our fish and our ecosystems that we have to keep alive, because when you keep the ocean alive, you keep humanity alive. So I think we all play a part in making sure our environment is healthy. And a menstrual cup is a product you buy one time and it lasts you 10 years. It's biodegradable. It's healthy not only for you, which we're going to get into in the next part of these slides, but it's healthy for our environment. From applicators to the tampons to the wrappers is insane. In one period, an average woman would use about 14 to 20 tampons, but this is 22 applicators, 22 tampons, 22 wrappers. And this is every month, every year, for the rest of your life. The amount of waste that one woman could produce just from a menstrual cycle is insane. I'm not saying it's anyone's fault. It's the companies that are obviously like packaging like this and using as much plastic as they are. However, they are not educating you on the alternative, which is why I am. This is what it would look like for a year of tampon waste with just the applicator. Not even with the wrapping and the actual tampon itself, just the applicator, because one single applicator is equivalent to several plastic bags. It is simply incomparable. It's ridiculous. And this is going to be for multiple women around the world that are just contributing to this growing problem that we have when it comes to taking better care of our environment. Menstrual cups are zero waste. I'm going to get into how it's going to help you directly, even if you don't care about the environment, you don't care about saving the earth, you don't care about reduce, reuse, recycle. That's literally fine. Let's talk about you. I want to talk about you, sis, and the general health and comfort that is associated with menstrual cups, the path to a more pleasing period. Because I'm a big believer that your period does not have to always be uncomfortable and painful. There are little things that you can do. In future videos, I can get into more things that I do to make my menstrual cycle more of a formality than something that actually stops me from living my life and having fun on a daily basis. I'm literally on my menstrual cycle right now. As I sit and make this video, I have a menstrual cup in my body. I am fine, I am cool, I am happy, I am having a pleasing period. I don't let my period stop me from living my life. There are things that you can do, and that's why the education and information in these conversations are important, because I feel like women suffer with their periods in silence as if half the world isn't experiencing the same thing or know someone who does. So understand that if you are not having a pleasing period, I want you to keep this information in mind, because it could help you even in a little way to be more comfortable when you have your menstrual cycle, okay? If you switch to a menstrual cup for no other reason, let it be this: they simply hold more. When I was using tampons, I have a heavy flow. I would be using 4 super double XL tampons in one day. I thought I was just bleeding and gushing and, oh my gosh, I can't control it. Oh, I just need all these tampons. When I first got a menstrual cup, my main problem is that I was emptying it way too much. I was putting it in the morning and I would go back and check it 2 hours later. I said, oh my God, I know it's going to be full. A milliliter. If you have a heavy flow, I'm speaking to you. No matter what you think, you're not bleeding nearly as much as you think you are. The beauty of a menstrual cup is it made me have a better understanding of exactly how much I actually was flowing, because it's hard to gauge with a tampon. How much blood is this? I just know it's full. I just know I need to change it. I don't know how much I am bleeding, and we're going to kind of get into how that information can be essential in determining whether or not you are or not healthy, if something's wrong, if you're having a healthy period. Next, they're more comfortable. People ask me, Trinity, how do you work on your period? What are you wearing? What are you wearing? How do you work on your period? A menstrual cup. Cannot tell you how easy it is to go about my life. I'll swim with the menstrual cup in. It does not matter. I'll do yoga with the menstrual cup in. It's extremely comfortable. It fits with your body so well. It does nothing to disrupt me. It's not irritating in any way, shape, or form. The only reason a menstrual cup would be irritating or be uncomfortable or leak is if it is input the wrong way. We're going to get into that in a little bit later in this presentation. Let's stay here. It's also healthier for your vaginal flora. Your vaginal flora is the bacteria in your vagina that keeps it healthy and maintains a regular pH balance. If you keep a tampon in all the time, it's going to be drying out the essential moisture and some of that essential bacteria that keeps your vagina healthy and regulating as an environment and ecosystem of its own. So when you're using a menstrual cup, it's not removing anything from your vagina. It's just collecting what was going to be going out anyways. So you're able to contain and maintain that healthy ecosystem, that healthy bacteria, all that healthy moisture that you need. You need that. If you aren't aware, even earlier this year, Tampax had a really big issue where they were finding arsenic, cobalt, magnesium, selenium, zinc, lead, nickel, iron, copper, cadmium, calcium. All of these metals are being found inside of Tampax tampons, to the point where the FDA is now investigating them to make sure they are still healthy for women to be putting inside their bodies. This is what's inside your tampons. I would never for any reason intentionally put arsenic inside my body, let alone my vagina, and you did it without knowing, and they didn't disclose it to you until they had to. I simply believe that if you aren't aware of what you're putting in your body, you shouldn't be doing it in the first place, but I'm educating you now, so hopefully with this information, you can make a different decision. That decision being, a menstrual cup. A menstrual cup is made out of medical grade silicone. A medical grade silicone. Sometimes they are made out of latex. If you're allergic to latex, that's fine. Medical grade silicone. So now we're going to get into the health of keeping you, why it's important to manage and take a look at your flow on a deeper level so you can understand your health at a deeper level. Your period blood tells you a lot. So understanding how much you're bleeding and the color of your blood can make it instrumental for you to realize what's going on inside your body, okay? So track your period like a pro. When you are using a menstrual cup, since you have to pour it out, you have to look at the blood, you're naturally able to measure your blood flow. There are little lines on my menstrual cup that let me know how much blood I have secreted thus far. It's really never as much as you think it's gonna be, because I told you, I was literally Little Miss Super Tampon Extra XL Plus, and I don't change my menstrual cup for more than one time a day. It never happens where I need to do it more than that. It does not overflow. I was not bleeding and gushing blood the way I thought I was when I was using a Super Tampon. You can observe the color changes, check consistency and blood clots, and detect unnecessary, unnatural odor. Okay, so these are the colors of period blood and what it means. If your blood is gray, it could be bacterial vaginosis. Orange, period blood mixed with cervical fluid. It could mean a possible infection. If it's pink, it's mixed with cervical fluid. It could mean weight loss, an unhealthy diet, anemia. If it's bright red, that's fresh blood, that's healthy, that's a steady flow. If it's dark red, you could be ending your period, or this could be an early sign of pregnancy. If it's black, that could be the beginning or end of a period, also possibly vaginal blockage. On top of this, overbleeding, underbleeding, things like that can help you understand if you maybe have an infection, if you need to go to the doctor, if there's some type of blockage happening within your body. Looking at your period blood is like natural. You should not, it's not nasty, it's not gross, it's your body, okay? You have to understand your period. If you are always having discolored, dark red periods, that could be a sign that something may be up. If the colors are odd, it's weird, it looks unhealthy, then you know maybe I should book a doctor appointment, and you could catch things early before it's too late. This is one of my favorite things about my menstrual cup. I'll take it out and I'm inspecting. I'm looking at it. It's my period. It's my body. If I don't take care of myself, who's going to? I'm like, you know what? This is fresh. It's red. It's beautiful. Pour it out. I'm done with it. That's all I need to see. How much am I bleeding? And if I'm bleeding so much, you may just think that you need a bunch of tampons because you're always on a heavy flow. But I know that I only need to change my menstrual cup once a day. If I ever started bleeding so much to where it's filling up in the middle of the day, I know that I need to go to the doctor because that's not normal. That's not how much blood I produce in a regular healthy period. This probably isn't a regular healthy period. If none of those things matter to you, if you don't care about the health of your body or being green in the environment, let's talk about being green in the pockets. We're going to get into why menstrual cups are more cost effective, the smart choice for your wallet, okay? The cost of tampons and pads are going to continue to increase with inflation. The average tampon is now like $10, $12 for a box, depending on what brand you get. If you like the ones that are pure cotton, you may be paying $15 for a box of tampons. Over time, it adds up. If you don't care about the cost and you're big balling like that, cool, you go crazy. But the thing about this is not everyone is in the socioeconomic class where they can afford tampons on a monthly basis. The average individual woman is going to spend $100 to $150 on pads and tampons in a year. And if you have daughters in your household or multiple women in your household, that's a lot of money, especially for a lower income home, which is where we get into something that they call period poverty. This is a term that was coined in 2019 to address this issue because of how prevalent it was in low income situations where women are not able to access period products that they need. Teenage girls are not able to access pads and tampons because they cannot afford them. 84% of teens have missed a class or know someone who missed it because they don't have access to menstrual products. There were girls that were using newspapers, socks, plastic bags, anything other than a tampon because they simply could not afford it. They don't want to bleed through their underwear, bleed through their pants in the middle of a school day. It's uncomfortable. They don't have access to resources, information like this to let them know that there are other options that are reusable, that are safe, that are healthy, that they can use without having to go in debt. And as I said, if you have multiple daughters in a low income home, it could be very difficult to deal with multiple periods and afford multiple people using and bleeding and having tampons and pads everywhere. It is a lot of money, especially for lower income situations. The cost of cup, you can buy a menstrual cup from anywhere. I mean, I got mine from Walgreens. It's generic. It has not name brand. I really don't care where you get it. It's not about the brand. It's really about the concept. It lasts 10 years. I've had mine for 3 years. No issues, no problems. We're still rolling strong. Let's get into choosing the cup for you. How to make the switch to menstrual cups for good. Because I hope that just through listening to this, I may have encouraged you to just consider trying them out. A lot of people, whenever I tell them that I use a menstrual cup, they're like, oh, well, I can't do it. I don't know how to put it in. I'm scared it'll get stuck in my body. Where is it going to go? Is it going to leak? And how do I use it? They're uncomfortable, blah, blah, blah. That's just because of misinformation, misunderstanding, miseducation, which is, once again, why I'm here. First things first, obviously, there's going to be a learning curve. This is a new product. You've never used anything like it. Be willing to try a menstrual cup out for like 3 to 4 months. Honestly, like, it's worth it. It lasts 10 years. Be willing to keep working on it until it works for you. The idea that it would get lost in your body because, tampons have these long strings, you can pull it out, and menstrual cups only have like a tiny little tail. I just have used it for 3 years, have never, ever, ever even had it. It just doesn't go that far up. Your vaginal cavity is not nearly as big as you think it is. I haven't even seen stories of women losing their menstrual cup inside them. It's just simply not enough space. It fits right there, and then it has suction to the walls. So honestly, it only moves whenever I twist it and I release the suction to actually remove the menstrual cup from my body. The only reason it would be uncomfortable is if it's put in wrong. The only reason it would leak is if it's put in wrong. The only reason it would be put in wrong is if you don't try and figure out what works for you and what process. There's different methods of insertion. Someone has actually invented, I don't know where, but you can go find this. Someone has invented an insertion, kind of like a tampon, where you can roll your menstrual cup up, put it into this little tube, and insert it into your body, very similar to a tampon. These are a couple websites that I recommend to you if you want to get more information, if you want to see a diagram of how to put it in, other options of different ways to put a menstrual cup in, and because they're going to be able to show you better than I can, because I don't really have a vagina to display unless you want me to, So they have menstrual cup comparison charts, a quiz on finding the right size for you, the right cup for you, and then just more information about menstrual cups in general, your cycle, how to really look at your period blood, understanding it. It's called putacupinit.com. We'll also have a link in the description below. Another good website for your education was menstrualcupreviews.net. A bunch of different information, quizzes, how to know when it's full, choosing the right one, comparing these menstrual cups. Do you want a cup? Do you want a disc? The nixit.com. These are not menstrual cups, they are menstrual discs. Same concept, different type of product, but maybe you may not be the kind of person that likes a menstrual cup, and it's cool. If you don't like the menstrual cup, I even still encourage you to try a menstrual disc. Try any reusable option before you're like, you know what, screw all this, I'm going back to tampons and pads. And if you do so, go crazy. Don't say I didn't try to put you on. I'm just here to educate and inform in the best way that I know how. But if you do not like menstrual cups, you've already tried them, try a disc. They're a little bit more squishy, they're softer, same concept. You put them in there, they're not gonna, everything that I just said that's great about a menstrual cup is still great about a menstrual disc. So you can check out nixit.com to look into that. But that is all I have for each and every single one of you. I hope you like this video. If you got to the end, I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you are going to try a menstrual cup, please let me know. I want to know. I want to encourage, even if 1 or 2 people switch from pads and tampons to something that just makes more sense for their wallet, makes more sense for their body, and makes more sense for their cycle, because it literally holds more. It holds so much more blood. It just makes so much sense to me. As you see, that's something I'm very passionate about. So let me know what you think in the comments. I'm going to have some more resources linked below on more information you can get if you do really want to make this decision. I want to thank you all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you would like more videos like this or anything else you may have further questions on. And yeah, with that, I want to wish each and every single one of you a happy and healthy period. Mwah!